Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know.
Hey y'all, how are y'all doing today? So as you can see, I just not too long ago got off from work, so I wanted to come to you guys because it is that time of the month. Like, it is the end of May, y'all. It is the end of May, so it's time for me to let y'all know what my TBR, my anticipated reads, whatever we want to call it, for the month of June. Y'all, I've been reading books like I'm bobbing and weaving. Hey, I can't wait to give y'all my May review. Like, I've been reading books like 90 going north, y'all, and I have so been enjoying it. But I must say, and I'm very proud of myself, I have been sticking to my anticipated reads for that month. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have stuck some other books in that anticipated reads. So that means I read more than just what my anticipated reads are for the month of May, and I've been loving it. I have been loving it, y'all. I have been reading some just straight out the books with no audio, and I have been reading some with audio as well. So that in itself is like, I don't know, it's just something about reading along in your book with an audio tape playing in your ear, or just playing in your room. Like, y'all, I even listen to my audio tapes while I'm in the shower. I sure do. And I love it. I love it. Oh goodness, I love it. But anyway, guys, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I suggest you subscribe to my channel, because Yolanda's Journaling places a vlog on here every Wednesday and Sunday. And of course, it's all about books and what we do with books, what we read, where we go, and just, you know, we just have fun with books. And I love it. But anyway, so again, like I said, it is that time of the month. It's that time of the month to give you guys what I want to read for the next month. And I know I said this on my other video probably, but as y'all can see, my little library that I want in my house is growing. It is growing. This is like the start of it. I got some bookshelves, and like there's some other parts that I have to finish, and I'm just loving being in this area. This is just like my safe spot, my safe haven. Like, I don't know, it just brings me joy to be surrounded by books. It just really brings me joy to be surrounded by books. So again, as y'all know, I will talk, but I'm not gonna talk y'all heads off this time. Again, I am going to give you guys the books that I will be reading for the month of June. I'm not gonna lie, it might be a few books that will have to fall over into the month of June that I did not get to in the month of May. But that's okay. That's okay, because they're gonna get read anyway. You know what I mean? They're gonna get read. And when I do read them, I'll just do like a little small book review, either on a short, or I'll put it on Instagram or TikTok. Instagram at Yolanda's Nathan. I'll pop it up here, and TikTok at Yolanda's Journaling. I'll pop that up here. So let's get started, y'all. So here are some of the books that I will be reading for the month of June. The first one is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. This one has been on my TBR cart, anticipated read cart, for like some time now. And I think it was actually a part of like either my spring TBR or the 24 books that I am going to read in the month of in the year of 2024. But I am gonna get to it this month. And again, it is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. Amelia Rose, known as Rose to her adoring fans, is burnt out from years of maintaining her Princess of Pop image. Inspired by her favorite film, Rome Holiday, she drives off in the middle of the night for a break in Rome, Kentucky, that is. I didn't even know there was a Rome, Kentucky, y'all. But then it says, when Noah Walker finds Amelia on his front lawn in her broken down car, he makes it clear he doesn't have the time or patience for celebrity problems. He's too busy running the pie shop his grandmother left him and reminding his nosy but lovable neighbors to mind their own damn business. Oh God, despite his better judgment, he lets her stay in his guest guest room, but only until her car is fixed. Really? Then she's on her own, but Noah starts to see a different side of Rose. He sees the real Amelia, kind-hearted and goofy, yet lonely from years of public eye. He can't help but get close to her. Y'all, I love books like that. I love books like that. Soon she'll have to return to the glamorous life of tour, but until then, Noah will show Amelia all the charming small town experiences she's been missing, and she'll help him open his heart to more. Light, fluffy type read. That is my speed. So I'm very excited to read When in Rome by Sarah Adams this month, or for the month of June. And this one is called The Bandit Bookshop of Maggie Banks by Shauna Robinson. I'm hoping I'm saying that name right, but y'all know I will murder an author's name. But this one, I think, is on my anticipated reads for 2024, the 24 books that I got to read for 2024. So I need to get this one out the way. It says, when Maggie Banks arrives in Belle River to run her best friend's struggling bookstore, she expects to sell bestsellers to her small town people. But running a bookstore in a town with a famously bookish history isn't easy. Belle River's literary society insists on keeping the bookstore stuck in the past, and Maggie is banned from selling anything written this century. So when a series of mishaps suddenly tip the bookstore toward ruin, Maggie will have to get creative to keep the bookshop afloat. And in Maggie's world, book rules are made to be broken. To help save the store, Maggie starts an underground book club. And y'all, that is something that I really want to start. Like, I really want to start a book club. And at work, I do have like a couple of people that has also like actually mentioned it and that likes to read just as much as I do. So hopefully I can start, or we can start, a book club sometime soon, in the toward the end of the year or the beginning of the of next year. That's what I'm hoping. That's my dream. I'm hoping that I can get some of my people from my job aboard to join me in a book club. So but keeping the book club quiet, selling forbidden books, and dodging the literary society is nearly impossible, especially when Maggie unearths a town secret that could upend everything. Maggie will have to decide what's more important, the books that form the small town's history or the stories posed to change it. So I'm not sure if this is like a historical plot type book. I will have to let you guys know when I actually read it. So The Bandit Bookshop of Maggie Banks is also on my list. The next one is Sanctuary, and I really do not know the author's name here, but this is the author's name, and this is the book Sanctuary. And this one also is on my 2024 anticipated reads for the year of 2024. So this one is a YA book, and it's pretty much about the future, 2032. And basically it's about like a family that is trying to get into an area that they don't have to like wear chips in order to live happily. But before they can get to that area, like the chip I think that their mom has like malfunctions, so she is not able to go with them to that sanctuary, and her this girl right here has to get like her younger brother across the country to make it, you know, to the safe place that they're trying to go before it's too late. And it says she and her family have carved out a stable, happy life in a small town Vermont, but when her mother's counterfeit chip starts malfunctioning and the force raids their town, they are forced to flee. Now on the run, Val and her family are desperately trying to make it to her Tia Luna in California, a sanctuary state that is currently being walled off from the rest of this country. But when Val's mother is detained before their journey ever begins, Val must carry on with her younger brother across the country to make it safely before it's too late. So this is a YA book, and it's kind of like talking about the future. And you know, I hear a lot of people say like things like this is going to happen, and when I saw this book at Barnes and Noble and I read the back of it, I was like, maybe I need to read this book. Maybe I need to prepare myself for something or whatever. But anyway, the cover of it was stunning. So I decided to pick this book up, and this will be another book that we will read in June. Another one is called Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. Beautiful cover. Beautiful cover. I think this is, I've seen this book on Shaughnessy's, one of Shaughnessy's video, and I think the cover is different. I just love when there are like a number of different covers for one book, because I feel like when the covers change year by year, however many times that they change it, I feel like they just get cuter and cuter and cuter. And I think Shaughnessy said like she don't or she's not gonna buy another this same book, but she wishes that she had this cover. So I really do like the cover. It says Say You Swear by Megan Brandy, and it says Andrina Johnson has been dreaming of what college life might bring, and it's finally coming over the horizon as she and her friends plan one last beachside summer together. So summer read, beach read, vacation read. So much has changed over the years, but there's always been one constant. The boy her heart returns to no matter where her imagination runs, her brother's best friend Chase. This is the summer she'll finally tell him how she feels. That is him. It's always been him until suddenly it isn't. Aries' heart is in splinters when she meets her star quarterback Noah Riley. His friendship is exactly what she needs after Chase's rejection, but from the start Noah wants more. Even when their path is blurry, even when tragedy strikes, even when Ari doesn't know her own heart. Noah fights for the feelings he knows they both have, no matter what it might cost. They say first love lasts forever. Ari is about to find out if this is really true. I just love stuff like this. I love reading books like this. So Say You Swear by Meg and Brandy is also on my list to read for June. This one is called Unsteady by Peyton Carney. I hope I'm saying that name right. This looks like a hockey plot book. It says Reyes is back, at least he's supposed to be. During last year's Frozen 4, the Waterfield University hockey captain and NHL legacy took a brutal hit that left him with a concussion and a new discomfort on the ice. Plagued by nightmares and panic attacks every time he attempts to skate. Raya's wondering if he'll ever play again or if he'll ever want to. I have read a hockey romance or a hockey book. One of them was Icebreaker. You know, that was kind of like surrounded by hockey. And sorry y'all. And when I go to the gym, I read Pucking Around. I think that's what it's called. I have not gotten through that book yet because it is such a long book. It felt like something was biting me. It felt like it was such a long book. And when I actually saw the book in the store, y'all, I was like, oh, that's a big, thick book. It's Pucking Around. It's like during A Court of Thorns and Roses, that series, though that series of that book is like the size of those books. So those books are kind of intimidating for me, and like I definitely have to have an audio in order to read those types of books. But Unsteady by Peyton Carney, also on my reads for June. And then y'all, I'm finally getting to a book that I have been hearing so many people talk about. Oh my God, it's all over everywhere. So I'm finally getting to start one of her books, and it's Abby Jimenez. And I'm going to start Part of Your World. I know that this isn't like the first book, but from my understanding, and y'all quote me, correct me if I'm wrong, like you don't have to read them in order is what I was told. So I want to start with Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez because I have heard so many people say like this is the best one in the little series standalone type books. So I'm not going to read the back of this book because I'm pretty sure y'all have heard everybody read the back of this book and talk about Part of Your World. So also on my anticipated reads for June, Abby Jimenez, Part of Your World. Alright guys, so those were like romance type books, that the light fluffy type books that I will be reading for June. But I also wanted to stick some thrillers into my month of June reads. So first we're going to start off with The COWOKER by Frida McFadden. I have read a couple of books, more than a couple of books by Frida McFadden, and neither one of the books that I have read by this lady disappoints me. So we're going to read The COWOKER by Frida McFadden, and it says, two women, an office filled with secrets, one terrible crime that can't be taken back. Y'all, you can never go wrong with a Frida McFadden book. Like when I go in, I have not read this book. I'm about to read just a little bit of the back of this book for y'all. But when I jump into a Frida McFadden book, I know I'm going to take off running. Because when you first start reading this lady's book, she just sees you running like you're running a marathon. And you never stop running to the end. And then when the end comes, it's like you still want to keep running. Like, oh my God, is there any more? You know? So I don't think at this point I will never be disappointed to read a Frida McFadden book. I just don't. So this one says, Dawn is a stranger. At least everyone thinks so at the Vix, the nutritional supplement company where Dawn works as an accountant. She never says the right thing. She has no friends, and she is always at her desk at approximately or precisely 8:45 a.m. So when Dawn doesn't show up to the office one morning, her coworker Natalie Farrell, beautiful, popular, top sale rep, 5 years running, is surprised. Then she receives an unsettling anonymous phone call that changes everything. Frida McFadden. It turns out Dawn wasn't just an awkward outsider. She was being targeted by someone close. And now Natalie is tied to Dawn as she finds herself caught in a twisted game of cat and mouse that leaves her wondering who's the real victim. But one thing is incredibly clear. Somebody hated Dawn enough to kill her. Now that part always will make me want to read a Frida McFadden book. Like it says, and now Natalie is tied to Dawn as she finds herself caught in a twisted game of cat and mouse that leaves her wondering who's the real victim. The COWOKER by Frida McFadden, y'all. I cannot wait to start reading that book.